Hey there everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video, I want to talk about OpenAI's brand new reasoning models, o1 Preview and o1 Mini. Now these two new models came out to the public, I think like 4 or 5 days ago now, and they are incredible. I've been playing around with them ever since they launched, and I feel like I finally have enough testing time that I can create a video on them. So if you're familiar with OpenAI's last flagship model, I guess still maybe technically flagship model, gpt-4o, it was their most advanced model to date. It had the best reasoning capabilities. It had a large context window. It could produce very great outputs in terms of like coding, math, and science, but also just logic and reasoning and storytelling. So it was amazing, and it still is amazing. But these two new models that have just came out, o1 Preview and o1 Mini, are designed specifically for reasoning, which increases their capacity to excel in these coding and math problems. And when I say reasoning, you'll see what I mean when I get into the demo, but they actually stop and they think about the question for a little bit longer, which increases output quality by a ton. So we're going to get into some videos, we're going to get into some examples and some nerdy stat stuff. So if you want to learn about these models, stick around. It's going to be a good video. All right, we're getting into video number 1 here. Now, this is an example of the reasoning capabilities with o1. So I'll press play and you can get a little example here.
The first of the problem I would like to show is an interesting common sense reasoning thing that all the previous type of large language models didn't do that great, which is about physics and about physical objects and their relationships. The problem reads, assuming the laws of
So here's the prompt here. You can take a quick look at it.
Physics on Earth. A small strawberry is put in a normal cup, and the cup is placed upside down on a table. Someone then takes the cup and puts it inside the microwave. Where is the strawberry? And explain the reasoning behind it. It's a simple problem. Every human will know straight away what is the answer, but it's something that language models are struggling a little bit, and then we can see how does this model do it. And we can also a little bit have a glimpse on what is happening in the.
So did you see what it did there for a second? So he pressed enter on the prompt, and then what it did is it said evaluating outcomes. So it said thinking.
I'll do it, and we can also a little bit have a glimpse on what is happening in the head of the model,
path.
And we also get a pretty nice answer of what happened, why it happened in this particular scenario. The model needed to spend a little bit more time thinking about it and analyzing what did actually happen there. It couldn't. The model has a bit of a harder time thinking.
So, for example, with all language models, when you give them more time to train, like in the context of fine-tuning a model, you give it a big data set, and then in that data set, you have like a book, like a Harry Potter book or something. And if you let the model read over the entire book once, it'll know a little bit of information about it, but it won't know a ton about it. Now, these are called epochs in training, if you want to get really nerdy, but these epochs, like one epoch would be one read over the book. But then if you increase those and you go to 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll read the book over and over again. And just like a human, you'll be able to reference more things that happened in the book more accurately. So it's not 100% the same thing, but in this context, what it showed in this video, it's thinking about it more. It's reading over the question more times, which increases its reasoning and its logical quality, A new series of AI models designed to spend more time thinking before they respond. So OpenAI o1 ranks in the 89th percentile on competitive programming questions, places among top 500 students in the US in a qualifier for the USA Math Olympiad, and exceeds human PhD level accuracy on a benchmark of physics, biology, and chemistry problems. Now, this, again, you have to remember, this is o1 Preview. So this is the first iteration of this new o1 model. So it's only going to get better from here. So the the o1 Preview there, it's designed to spend the longest time thinking, and it's going to be the one that you want to use if you have an actual complex problem that you want the best outcome for. OpenAI o1 Mini right here is the model that you're going to want to use if you want a similar level of quality, but you want it to be a little bit faster and a little bit more efficient. Now, this pertains especially to when you're using the API, because OpenAI, or sorry, the O1 Mini, I don't know why I keep saying OpenAI. We know it's from OpenAI. O1 Mini here is 80% cheaper roughly through the API than O1-Preview. So you're going to get fairly similar outcomes for 80% less cost. So just a little tip for the API. O1 Mini excels at STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we expect O1 Mini to be faster, cost-effective model for applications that require reasoning without broad world knowledge. Perfect. So that is going to be very, very cool to actually use in the API. Video coming soon. So that's just a couple little things so you can get to know the models a little bit better. Now let's actually hop into ChatGPT so we can look at some real world examples and test it with prompts. So as you can see, we're on a new ChatGPT thread right here. The model we're using is gpt-4o, the flagship model from OpenAI. All right, so this is the prompt that I've given 4o. I need you to come up with a detailed business plan for a mining company. Take into consideration all steps in the supply chain and fulfillment, think logically, and give me the correct answer. I guess that doesn't really make sense. Think logically, don't be lazy. Nice. So still fairly general, but let's see what it comes up with here. All right, so what it's produced so far is actually very good. I mean, as you'd expect from 4o, it's still an extremely capable model at the end of the day. So set up the ownership structure, location, type of mining. It gives you the phases, year 1, surveying, licensing, open pit or strip mining, refinement, environmental responsibility is a big one. It mentions this a few times. Position XYZ Mining as a responsible, environmentally conscious mining company. Collaborate with manufacturers that have sustainability goals. So did well with this. It gave me the full breakdown right here. Perfect. I'd say that was a total pass right here. So let's actually copy the prompt here, start a new chat, and go to O1-Preview. Let's paste the exact prompt in, enter, see what happens. Now, it's going to take probably quadruple the amount of time to actually output something here. And if you click on this, you can actually see the steps. So it's actually thinking and it's mapping out these steps. So it also called it XYZ Mining Company. So now, thought for 16 seconds. Oh, it changed the name. Apex Minerals Mining Company. Iron ore. So it gave a more detailed legal structure here, which is nice. Long-term 5+ years. So it changed its structure. Oh, it's much longer. Maybe not much, but so, oh, here we go. Implementation timeline. So secure funding, conduct that, hire and train. Let's just say expand on A to C. So you can see here, executive summary, appendix A. Yeah, it's very comprehensive, as you can see. It output this entire thing. Now, the other example that I want to give you with O1-Preview is coding. So let's jump into a very quick coding example so you can see the level of detail that it produces when you give it a coding question. Create a snake game in JavaScript. Give me the front end in HTML and CSS. So what you'll see here is that it actually separates the files so much better than GPT-4o. And especially if you're learning how to code and you're just getting into coding with large language models, you'll see how much more helpful this would be. If you were unaware of like code file structure and like formatting, this is a game changer. Like I'm telling you, this is actually crazy. This is so good. So you can see here, we get all the things, all the pieces, HTML, index.html, styles.css, script.js. Now before it actually just said like JavaScript here. Now it actually gives you like a file name for it in brackets, which is quite nice. Instructions, right? All the same stuff right here. Feel free to customize. So normally it actually didn't give it to me this time. Now this is very simple because it's literally 3 files, But normally right at the top here from my tests, it's given me like the file tree structure so you can better understand how to organize your files. Your root folder, snake game, and then you have your 3 files there. Copy the prompt, start a brand new chat with this 4o model. So you can see how quick that was. Just boom. What I was saying, it didn't give us the file name in brackets right there, but it did with this one. So there's just more inconsistency, and with JavaScript as well. There's more inconsistency with its mathematical encoding outputs. And just from experience, trust me, this is very frustrating when you're developing an app and you give it a simple task and it can't repeat it consistently. It's super annoying. So now let's actually compare the output of the code. Now, just for fairness' sake, I'm not going to go in and tell it to redo anything or adjust anything. This is the exact code that I got from the exact same prompt. So you can see the root name of this folder, snake4o. So this is the index, the style, and then the JavaScript that gpt-4o gave me. So we're going to go live. We're going to run this. And this is what we get right here. So I don't really know. Oh, so you just use the arrow keys to start. All right, there's no like refresh button, it would seem. So let's just refresh the page. And the arrow keys don't actually work to adjust anything. So if I press up, it goes up, but then I can't. Oh, now I can move it. Oh, it just takes a sec maybe. Oh, okay. I was too quick to judge it. Oh, I'm nice with it though. No, I'm too good at snake. Okay. And the counter works, so you can see it's counting. What happens if I eat my own tail? Okay, game over. All right, not bad. Pretty good. Better than I thought. So now let's open the brand new file, gpt-o1, and let's compare the snake games. So on screen now, we have GPT-o1's version of the snake game. Exact same prompt, exact same everything. So let's go live with this now. Let's see if it looks any different. Wow, so it's actually much worse than 4o, which is very surprising to me. From all my other tests, it's been much more proficient. So maybe it's not where we need to be. So as you can see, this model, O1, the brand new model, O1 preview, this is its snake game. Take a look. And this is GPT-4o's snake game. Much better, much more responsive, much more complete right off the bat after one simple prompt. The difference in these two outputs just illustrates the fact that I think this really is a preview model in the name, O1 preview. So it's the first version of this. And normally what they do is they release the preview, fine tune it from feedback, and then release, the more comprehensive model. So maybe this is just a side effect of it being the preview. But as you can see here, we still have a little bit to go for this model to be fully proficient. But I would still test it out. I would still play around with it, use it. I've been enjoying its reasoning capabilities. I've been doing stuff for Proxy, my consulting business, with GPT-o1, and I feel like it just thinks a little bit longer, and maybe it's placebo, but I do feel like it gives more reasonable outputs. But maybe this video is a good illustration that it's not a GI yet. It's not the complete be-all and end-all future model. We still have a long ways to go. But I hope you learned something in this video. Hope you got a good demonstration of a couple capabilities, and keep an eye out for my API test, which I think I'll build 2 automations, one with 4o and one with like O1 mini, which we didn't test in this. We just used O1 preview. And then I'll put them up head to head and do some like lead scraping or whatever the case may be, some sort of video. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.